Well, thank you, Brendan. I hope you can all hear me, and I hope you can all see my screen. Two biggest phrases used over the last 18 months. Very good morning to you, to the attendees of the IPIA Big Breakfast. Yes, as Brendan said, I just want to take about 10 minutes to go through what we see happening in the marketplace, what we're driving in the marketplace, and really pushing the message of going beyond CMYK, going beyond the normal, going beyond what's expected, and really adding that plus to CMYK. So without further ado, let me go on. So just very quickly, our value proposition is based on three things. It is about going beyond CMYK, about busting through commodity print. But if we're going to do that, then all businesses, all print businesses, and all businesses need to harness the power of technology and automate through the process, not just the manufacturing process, on-press, pre-press, but also the marketing automation. So connecting with the market, connecting with clients, making it easy to do business with. And at Xerox, we very much hope that our customers are investing with confidence. So as Brendan said, we have a whole range of business development tools, which we can cover on another time, but it's really the ability to grow and stretch with a business. So in fact, all of the technology is upgradable in the field. So as your business moves and change, you can add things to take advantage of that. So why would someone want to add something to CMYK? The foundation of print clearly is CMYK and will be for a number of years. But businesses want their communications to stand out. They want them to differentiate in the marketplace, really jump up, put their head above the parapet of the noise of all the other stuff that's out there. They want it, if they're going to print it, they want it to be special. You know, Boris Johnson knew that when he sent a letter to everybody last year. He wanted to get something on the doormat, in the hands, and really get the message across. And hey, he printed it. He didn't email it. He didn't text it. He printed it. And with the technologies that we have at Xerox, and we have a whole range of presses that have these capabilities. So from desktop all the way through to industrial presses. But I'll focus, as I'm talking, I'll make reference to a press called the Irides. All the presses work in a similar fashion, but I'll focus on that because that gives us a straight line through. So yeah, presses that can do fantastic CMYK, but then also add very productively and cost effectively golds and silvers and whites and clears and fluorescents that really do differentiate your client's print or your designs from the crowd. And why would that opportunity be there for print providers or creatives to add that, to make their work different? Was we do a lot of surveys and look at what the market says. There's a saying called follow the trends, and follow the trends, not slavishly, but look and see what's going on. Probably like many of you, I talk to printers, but not just printers. I talk to design companies, I talk to agencies, I talk to end clients as well. Because if you listen to what the market says, it gives you a good feel as to where you need to go as a business and the sort of things that you can produce or design to get noticed. So look, hey, there's a massive market out there of pages where nearly a third of them have something added to them, some embellishment, some enhancement that goes on there. In fact, nearly half of all offset pages have 2 or more enhancements that are put on them. But as we know, in the world of print, and particularly around offset, the run lengths are coming down, and that puts it into a space that's very, very convenient for digital print. And digital print that is productive and quality-led and all those sort of things, but can give the added enhancements in line without losing productivity and without taking on a whole host of cost as well. But of all those pages that are printed, less than 1% are actually being done on a digital press. So the volume and how businesses are using print and enhancements is moving down into an area that's a sweet spot for digital, but not just for CMYK digital, for CMYK plus, or going beyond CMYK in those pages. And what sort of effects are we looking at? As I mentioned earlier on, very, very strong demand for metallics, for golds and silvers, and with the Iridesk press we mix those as well. So it's not just solid golds and solid silvers, it's also fluorescence that we can put in. It's that iridescent look and feel when we add CMYK there as well. Textured print by adding layers of clear toner to give a very tactile feel. And a very, very popular one is white. So white onto very dark stocks, really enhancing the communication, adding that level of value as well. And what sort of work is being done? Well, it's all the work that you would recognize. It's the brochures, it's the DM, it's the marketing materials. And one that's really coming through strongly is packaging. So it's right across the board, the ability to do this as well. And Brendan mentioned some stats there. Let me give you another one, part of the same Key Point Intelligence survey. So not only were margins much better, but also the marketplace print buyers indicated that they would be willing to pay more, which is really important. We all know the capability of producing something, but unless someone's willing to purchase that, then it's not going to go any further. They're actually shouting, we need things that differentiate our business, that get us noticed in the marketplace, and we're willing to pay more for it. So going beyond CMYK is an area, real area of opportunity for everybody, for brands, for designers, for print businesses, and for the end client or the consumer as well. But when I say going beyond CMYK, and what I've spoken about is a Xerox capability, specifically around adding additional colors, but it's not just additional colors. It's also about, and this is sort of at an industry level, it's also about using all of the other things that we can add to make print communication stand out from the crowd and really be embraced by a welcoming market. And now I'm thinking of the post-pandemic market, the way in which the marketplace is now starting to open up. Businesses are starting to flex their muscles. They're now looking forward into ways in which they can drive their business to new customers, to re-engage with existing customers, and again, to get noticed. Well, there's a whole host of things. I won't go through all of them, but I'm sure there's a whole raft of other things that you can add to this as well. It could be the format, different ways of finishing, different papers, substrates, tactile papers that really connect with the consumer. It could be some of the cool things that we can do with data, using the personalization aspect. It could be interaction with things like augmented reality, really connecting in a different way from a physical piece. That ability to go from the physical to the digital seamlessly. And I think a really important part of what we need to be doing in this new opportunity is to educate, not just educate our clients, but educate the broader market, educate designers, educate agencies, yes, educate brands as well as to what is possible. Because if we don't, then CMYK will be the standard. Nothing wrong with CMYK, by the way, but CMYK standard print will be the standard. And we know that businesses are looking for ideas. They're looking to you to help them communicate with their marketplaces. This opportunity we have, and I do believe it's a great opportunity, it is one where we leave lazy print behind. Print that doesn't work for us, for the producer, for the agency, but more importantly for the client. So when we think about businesses and post-pandemic, I pulled this from a session I was on where we were looking at different industries and the impact on it. Now, don't look and say, well, I've got a customer in one segment who's actually flying, or I've got one at the top that's actually suffering. It's just a view of looking at seeing the impact of COVID and how we can change things. And I'd really shout this out, saying the opportunity lies in all of this. So the opportunity to go to, at the bottom there, tourism and leisure, hospitality, those sort of businesses that have been absolutely locked down. They're looking for ways of re-engaging, reconnecting. Businesses at the top, food processing, retail, those sort of things. Again, they're all looking for ways in which they can push on in the new world. So have a think about that. So on a more practical basis, the changes from lockdown into where we are now, and hopefully we'll be somewhere next week, maybe, or not, the way in which you do print. So for the last 18 months, for instance, when we went somewhere, if we went somewhere and we looked at spaces, the walls, the floors, the windows, those sort of things, all the signage was to do with keep your distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, and they won't disappear. But as the economy opens, they're moving significantly more now into buy me, sell me, come and see me, engage with me. And if we're going to be doing that, then they need to be eye-catching. And as you can see in a number of these, one of the ways in which you can do that is by using fluorescent print. Low volumes, perhaps with an element of personalization in to a shop or to an organization, but really talking to the consumer, using fluorescence to catch the eye and draw the consumer in. Another area, and this is stuff I've seen over the last couple of weeks. It's not, this is absolutely real stuff. So things like the hospitality industry opening up, whole host of opportunities there as well. Again, a lot of use, because it's the summer, a lot of use of fluorescence to really stand out. But what they're doing is printing onto synthetic stocks. Why would you print onto synthetic stocks? It costs more, it does, but you can wipe it down. You can even put it in the dishwasher along with the glasses and actually sanitize and clean it. But for me, the most important thing in these examples is the QR code. So over lockdown, we've seen the rise of, and not the rise, but the acceptance of QR codes through things like track and trace. Yeah, even people who perhaps were reticent to use it or just didn't know what it was for are now scanning. So if you're printing something, if you're engaging with the client, make sure there's a QR code. Again, this idea of going from the physical to the digital. And we're seeing, certainly through our clients, we're seeing a great rise in hospitality, restaurants, bars, museums, art galleries, those sort of things. And also the one that's coming up at the moment is events. So we've got some customers who, have been really struggling with it. Now the events are starting to come as well. So good opportunities there as well. Finally, I just want to touch on another thing that we need to be able to tap into, and that's making it easy for customers and consumers to access print. Yeah, again, one of the things about the last 18 months is people have got very, very comfortable with clicking and getting. I'm going to click something and I want it. I want it now. I want it right away. And we've got the capability of doing that. So we've got these fantastic data-driven e-commerce systems, very efficient production systems that can do that. And one of the things that's coming out of that, certainly again, this is what I'm seeing really strongly in the UK and across Europe, is in the print world for what we call functional goods. So it's not print for communication or a document or something. It's actually a product in its own right. So it could be a beer mat, a door hanger, a coffee cup wrap, those sort of things. A whole host of examples there as well. And really what differentiates these, I would say, is they're ordered online. They contain a lot of the time fluorescents. They contain whites because they're being printed onto darker substrates or packaging, for instance. They contain floor graphics with these fluorescents in there as well. So it's not just talking about the capability of going beyond CMYK and adding these colors. It's about the reality of real life applications being done today in the UK using our technology. And finally, one of the other really big opportunity areas, and this has grown massively, and you will know this either because you're doing work for this segment or you're a customer of this segment. It's the rise of the cottage industry. The rise of consumers being comfortable in going to smaller businesses and getting their products. And of course, those smaller businesses are acting as though they're very large businesses. They interact online. You can buy online. Got wonderful e-commerce platforms, but of course, the volumes they're producing are pretty low. They don't want to tie up stock. They don't want to tie up inventory. So tying in with a very, very efficient e-commerce system with a very efficient print production and flexible and value-added print production system is a fantastic opportunity for businesses today. I know many of you are facing off against this great opportunity. I'm really seeing a rise in this. Really good. So, in summary, and I think as an industry, we've probably been focusing on the left-hand side, surviving. Just generally surviving. Let's get through this. Let's get our business through this. Let's get our employees through this. Let's wrap our arms around and do it in making sure we're still around. But in doing that, what I've seen is a lot of businesses looking at what they offer, who they are, how do they interact with their marketplace? Has the marketplace they interact with moved, shifted? Is it demanding other things? And I think in a lot of instances it is. And we're still going through that as well. But if we move from the survive, we absolutely now have to stand loud and proud in the thrive area, because I believe, our industry has a hell of a lot to offer. Tangible services to offer those businesses. Not least the ability to go beyond CMYK and really focus in the CMYK on that CMYK plus, the thing that adds value to all and what we do. So thank you very much.